Thank you for visiting the CoinSuries channel again. Who are you with? Your vote enter in the option community. Option A XRP. Option B Ripple. Option C SEC, Ripple, and XRP are going to be discussed today. This was typical of the financial markets and cryptocurrencies. My sincere prayer is that wherever you may be in the world, you have a wonderful day or night. We can see that Medico and Ripple merged if we go back to May of 2023, in their pursuit of the $10 trillion opportunity by 2030, also known as institutional crypto custody. Ripple spent $250 million to acquire Medico. A wonderful motivation to study this further is that it was $10 trillion. By 2030, the cryptocurrency sector might be worth $10 trillion due to custody alone. Only the custodial sector is affected by it. It is at this juncture that major institutional players like Ripple start to actively pursue the goal of being a comprehensive solution for payments, liquidity, and custody. My motivation for reiterating this essay is unclear. Why? Reason being that in December, Adrian Tsunami, founder and CEO of Medico, made a prediction. I did, however, address this matter on the feed. Nonetheless, we must go back to this since we are in the year 2024 and there has been development in the institutional front. Therefore, he predicted that a new paradigm would develop in 2023, when the industry would finally try to leave the past in the past. The cryptocurrency industry is no longer courting banks and other financial institutions. Big banks and other financial organizations throughout the globe are actively seeking digital asset solutions to fulfill their consumers' demands for quick, transparent, and easy financial services. In the past year, we have announced partnerships with a number of foreign banks. Our prediction is that adoption rates will continue to soar all the way into 2024. Tokenized assets are gaining traction in the financial sector, but this trend won't last unless dependable integrations, strict security measures, and regulatory standards are in place. One of my primary worries now that we're examining this is HSBC. Remember that HSBC is actually quite large. They developed a platform for security token custody in November in collaboration with Ripple's Medico. Plenty of greatness. Since we have already discussed securities, that is where we will start. Securities tokenization is significant due to the yearly settlement of quadrillions of dollars in securities. Also, keep in mind that this will all start in 2024. Along with its digital asset issuance platform, Orion, the bank aims to launch a new custody service for digital assets in 2024. On November 1, 2023, tokenized actual gold was introduced. Since the two services now provide HSBC's institutional clients a comprehensive portfolio of digital assets, the firm sees this as a huge advancement. Plenty of greatness. I highlighted HSBC's position as an institutional giant by discussing the channel's discussion of the bank's enormous size. A further inquiry, the reason for my repeated mention of this? This is due to the fact that we were only just recently informed about this message from Medico towards the end of December. Save the date for our live medical discussions with this individual, the head of digital and data in the Asia-Pacific region at HSBC Security Services, by registering your spot before 2023 ends. Our meeting to go over the institutional value chain of tokenized securities is scheduled for this month's 11th. This section concludes with the presentation of the institutional tokenized security value chain. By scrolling down a bit, we can see that this individual has been employed by HSBC since 2018. He was an early supporter of HSBC's plan to tokenize physical assets in collaboration with the Singapore Stock Exchange and championed the Digital Vault, which provides investors with access to their private placement investment records. His work on capability building during the last 5 years. His work is a big reason why HSBC is now one of the most prominent financial service providers in the digital assets ecosystem. He works on solutions for custody issuance, asset servicing, and the tokenization of digital and traditional assets in collaboration with clients and providers of financial market infrastructure. Since all assets are programmable, he believes that in the future, there will be a dramatic improvement to the asset servicing ecosystem. The global markets, technology, and securities divisions of Bank of America Merrill Lynch were under his leadership for 10 years, during which time he oversaw transformation teams in Asia. We also have the Chief Growth Officer of Medico down here, along with the host. He has extensive expertise in investment banking, wealth management, legislation, technology, market structure, commodities, and cryptocurrency. He developed and oversaw trading operations in every major financial center across the world throughout his 20 years of employment with J.P. Morgan, Barclays, Bank of America, and others. Merrill Lynch should maintain vigilance over this since it reveals trends at the institutional level. It might appear like everyone is telling you to invest in Bitcoin ETFs. Yes, it's far larger than that. This is something I've talked about extensively before. Having said that, let me make an announcement after this. The launch of the money transfer app shows that HSBC is proceeding with caution. Additionally, it should be noted that HSBC heavily utilizes Medico, which is now owned by Ripple, in order to simplify payments, offer liquidity on demand, and maintain their emphasis on cross-border payments, which they have been doing for nearly 10 years. Also, HSBC now has its own app for making and receiving payments. Launching in the UK first, HSBC's global currency conversion software will also come with a debit card, putting it in competition with money transfer heavyweights. Our team is fully aware that this is an extremely risky move. The HSBC app is available on both the App Store and Google Play, allowing you to connect with customers who may not normally be your target. The bank sees us as part of a big and growing demographic, and they're trying to cash in on that. So far as I can tell, this platform is going to be absolutely massive. You can see down here that Zing wants to be a global player. Following HSBC's global payment strategy, our goal is to establish ourselves as a go-to platform for cross-border payments. Markets in Asia, the MENA region, and maybe even the EU will soon welcome our arrival. Zing is a regulated electronic money institution that was allegedly founded by James Allen, who was the head of foreign exchange and payments at the bank. Because of that, I think this is really interesting. Like I said before, it comes at a pivotal time in the market because of HSBC's substantial engagement in Medico. Medico is basically a Ripple corporation, as stated earlier. The word wise, however, has a long history of connotations. Today, we can observe the fruits of the partnership between Smart and Swift, which was announced in September with the aim of increasing the number of foreign payment options available to banks and their customers. As a whole, funds received from NC, our goal is to make it easier for money to move freely all over the globe. Swift ensures the smooth completion of secure payments worldwide. In order to eradicate fragmentation, we are devoted to complete openness, teamwork, and innovation. In this way, fast clients may keep their data secure and achieve end-to-end transparency while still making use of their existing infrastructure to get the services they want. All things considered, I am quite interested in this. The most peculiar aspect is that, as I mentioned in September, Smart is probably not using Ripple or XRP for anything other than this collaboration. The idea that a single partnership may make specific assets available to hundreds of organizations is fascinating, and I think it has great potential for domino effects in the field. Ripple owns 40% of the triangle, which they are connected to. Swift is entering into a partnership with Clever to broaden the options for global payments. I still believe that certain people manipulated Ripple in the past, thus I keep insisting that it innovate rapidly. In my opinion, Ripple and XRP have formidable competitors in Swift. To survive, Swift, in my opinion, needs to change. Quick might benefit greatly by using RippleNet and charging banks to use it, say Joel Katz and David Schwartz. At what point will this take place? You have Tranquilo again, and yes, it's possible. Worldwide behemoths like Alipay, Smart, and Payoneer were among the thousands of businesses who exploited stranglers, technologies that enable millions of consumers in 70 countries to conduct transactions every day through cross-border payment systems. I have already indicated that at least 40% of Tranglo is owned by Ripple. Triangle makes advantage of XRP-powered on-demand liquidity and Ripple payments. But there's also a piece that covers some ground in the past. It was May of 2023 that I intended. Earlier in the year, actually. Dawning of a fresh age in banking and insurance. That number comes straight from BCG, the same people that said tokenization will hit $16 trillion. It is anticipated that B2B would dominate the following period, since wild payments drove the previous one from B2B to X. Ripple is brought up after Wise is mentioned as an example. These transactions take place on a global scale. Remitly, Wise, and Zoom are just a few of the global money transfer platforms that have simplified international money transfers. As the pace of globalization increases, there will likely be a greater need for better solutions for cross-border payments. In the event that the main payment rails encounter problems, it is wise to add backup strategies into the system. When DLT is completely operational, it can wreak havoc on the market. Ripple and similar blockchain businesses are teaming up with financial institutions and payment processors worldwide to facilitate rapid cross-border monetary transactions through their RippleNet payment network. If we look at real-time payments closely enough, we can see that the Federal Reserve's present service is a driving force behind the industry's emphasis on real-time settlement. I think I brought this up previously, right? We also have instant payments, which are similar to real-time payments. If I use PayPal, for instance, the money will go to the receiver almost instantly. The dispute resolution layer requires maintenance. Completion needs some time. This is why we look at blockchain and DLT. The reason behind this is that this technology could potentially facilitate instant settlement. Also, bear in mind that in the next 3 years, the value of the international money transfer sector is expected to reach $250 trillion. Think about it, there is a tiny subset of that market that might cause a tsunami of riches, and those businesses are at the forefront of the movement to shake up their sector. Recall the identity of the key actor who has been repeatedly mentioned in connection to the domino effect of disruption in the field of cross-border payments. Now, aside from this, they also emphasize Wise, which makes sense considering Smart's size. With operations in 170 countries, they support 50 different currencies. Serves more than 5 million people and 300,000 small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, profitably. Their affiliation with other well-known brands, such as PayPal, contributed to their growth. Though, not in this context, is it? Let me know when these companies will also start offering speedy settlement, please. The Bitcoin business is increasingly focusing on fast settlement as a use case, even with the Fed's new service. I mentioned it again for this very reason. Their use of third-party players is enabled through APIs. Cloud and RippleNet have already been informed about this. That is something that an API can handle. Still, the fact that the big changes are only now starting to show is fascinating. The focus has shifted to competition. Now we are actually attacking, because it's a competitive landscape, HSBC has publicly stated, adding credence to this. Rapid settlement payments are something that big companies like Ripple will start to get into, in my opinion. We are able to process payments instantly because of this. We are unable to provide live settlement. Nobody wants to wait more than 2 or 3 business days anymore. Absolutely, I could wire the funds to you immediately. Before it settles, there's a wait. As I've stated on the channel ad nauseum. Upon receipt of money, we promptly settle. We are currently utilizing the future payment system. My prediction for this year is that it will be that way. Some large companies, including HSBC, are considering using blockchain and distributed ledger technology, DLT, to speed up. When one party takes the first step towards settlement, a plethora of organizations will follow suit. I say so because this market is extremely competitive. $250 trillion. Regarding this matter, it seems to me that we have already surpassed the $156 trillion market figure that they are utilizing. That figure was $156 trillion in 2022. I don't know what that number is at the moment, but they predict that international payments will reach $250 trillion by 2027. Consequently, there is a lot of money in this huge industry. Distributed ledger technology, DLT, and blockchain, the most advanced payment system, will soon be the focus of attention for all computer aficionados, in my opinion. Be that as it may, if you found this video entertaining, I would greatly appreciate it if you could subscribe, like, and comment on it. Goodbye for now.